Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Home Based Business 101. I am your host, Meredith Banka, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight. I'm always flipping over to Facebook actually on my phone to make sure that we're live there as well. And then we'll get started with this particular topic for tonight, which I'm really excited about because it's the foundation of your marketing. And you guys know how passionate I am about that. But before we get going and before we start the official topic for tonight, I want to let you know I did a pretty crappy job of following my own guidance and getting a message out to all of you to let you know that I would be here live tonight. So I'm not sure that many of you are going to be joining me live. Instead, you're going to be catching me on the replay, and that is totally fine. But remember, I go live here every single Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm excited because tonight I'm actually kicking off a 4-week series specifically around marketing your business, your home-based business. And this is for you if you are a brand new business owner, if you are in that thinking about it phase and you haven't quite launched your marketing. This is for you if you get frustrated by your marketing or you kind of feel a little uncomfortable with marketing. And this is also for you if you feel like you're doing okay, but you just want more. Because sometimes what we need to do is go back and review some of the most important aspects of marketing to make sure that we are on track. So that's what we're going to cover tonight. And I'm looking forward to any of you jumping in here live, listening to this recorded as a podcast on Home Based Business 101 over on Spotify or Apple, or catching me here on the replay. So however it is you choose to join, I am excited to be here with you tonight. So let's go ahead and get this started. Welcome to Home Based Business 101. We are kicking off a 4-part series today, and the series is really how to market your home-based business. And tonight we are going to be talking about how to define your audience. And this is, it's getting close to Easter, so it makes me think about which came first, the offer or the audience. And I think you could probably argue it either way. Sometimes people have a deep desire to help a specific person, to help a specific demographic, to help a specific niche of people, but they're not exactly sure what to offer to them. Other times, people have a product or service. Maybe they've started out as a hobby, or maybe they have a passion for a particular topic or industry or service, but they're not exactly sure who they want to serve with that particular offer. So this comes the dichotomy of, well, which came first, the offer or the audience? And I don't really think it actually matters. We're starting here with audience, and the next week we're going to talk about offer. And then the following week, we are going to talk about how to connect those two together in order to get ready to promote. And then the last week, we're going to talk about how to launch your marketing effort and how to measure what you're getting back. And that is so important that you have that in place before you even get started. So if those topics are interesting to you at all, go ahead and save them in your mindset. Come back and listen to future episodes, either here in the Side Gig Gurus group, or you can always catch these episodes on Apple or on Spotify on the podcast Home Based Business 101. So let's dive in, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about why your audience matters. This is a common mistake that many people who step into entrepreneurship make. Number one, you think everybody's going to want what you've got. And the harsh reality is nope, not true. Not everybody is going to want what you have, and you're not going to want everybody who wants you. It's kind of like dating. There might be some people you want to date, they don't want to date you. There might be some people who want to date you and you don't want to date them. So how do you go about figuring out who your audience is? Well, that's what we're going to talk about, but this is why it matters. You are most likely a relatively small fish in an absolute gigantic sea of people. And you've got to figure out who you want to serve, because your message and your value and the important work that you have to do is going to get lost at sea if you do not define who you're helping. If you define who you're helping, then you know what part of the ocean to go to. You know where to navigate. It starts to help you define things and make decisions. One of the biggest things that you're ever going to do as an entrepreneur is make choices. And the faster that you can get at making choices with less and less information and overthinking, the faster you're going to be able to take action and the faster your business is going to be able to grow. Makes sense, right? So if you already know who you help, then it becomes really easy to have that framework and say, nope, not for me. Nope, not for me. Oh, wait, yes, 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 they're for me. I'm going to navigate my boat over to that ocean, over to that part of the world, that part of the pond, however you want to look about it. And that's where I'm going to spend my time. But if you're just out there floating the sea at random, you're not ever going to land anything because nobody's going to bite on your hook because you're just fishing for everything all at once. You've got to know what you want. Okay. And you need to know where to go find those people. So that's why it matters to define this audience in the first place. Another reason that it matters is that you want to speak right into your audience. You want them to feel like you have mind melded with them and that you are like sneakily, almost creepily in there understanding them because you've done your homework. You know what their pain points are. You know what they're looking for. You know what their joy is. You know what their sadness is. You know where they live, what they do, why they need you, why you can solve their problems. So then when you go to develop your marketing message, it's meant right for them. So this does not matter. I do not care what kind of business you're starting. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's offline. I don't care if it's a service. I don't care if it's a product. I don't care if it's some brand new idea that you're launching in the market or if it's something that's been done for millions of years. You have to answer these questions or you are going to spin your wheels, waste a bunch of time, get super frustrated, and maybe even think about quitting, which we don't want you to do because the more entrepreneurs, the better. There's a room for all of us, right? So that's why you've got to define who it is and then target your message to them. But if you don't know who you're marketing to, how the hell are you going to target your message? It's never going to work. Okay. And I already said my last point around why this matters is because you don't want everybody and not everybody wants you. So again, I'll just repeat that because it's really important. As a new entrepreneur, you're so eager to make the sale. You're so eager to get out there and start making money and put that first dollar bill, up on the wall. And you will. It will happen. It will happen for you. I absolutely know it will. However, you cannot allow your eagerness to serve to overcome the importance of recognizing that you are not going to serve everybody and figuring out who your niche is. So now let's talk about how do we do this? How do we define who our audience is? Well, there's two traditional methods that you would use as a marketer to figure out who your audience is and to learn and study about them. The first one is demographics. These are pretty much facts about people. Are they men? Are they women? Are they not indicating a gender? Is gender even important with your offer? Can anyone of any identifying gender love and identify with your product? Or is it something that is more meant for one person or another based on gender identity? Okay, that's demographic. And that's one aspect of what you've got to think about. Location is also demographic. Are you doing business only in your city? Well, if you've got a brick and mortar and, my husband owns a barbershop, he's not doing business anywhere else other than his barbershop in our town. He's not doing mobile haircuts. He's not flying around the world doing guest spots in barbershops around the world. He could, but he's not. So his market demographically from a location perspective is very defined as right here in our city. Are you doing business only in the US? Are you doing business in North America? Are you doing business internationally? Are you doing business in more than one language? Answer these questions for yourself. Financials also come into demographics. Who is best suited based on the price point of your product to be a likely customer? You need to answer these questions. If you have a heart to serve a certain population, you need to make sure that your product is priced appropriately for them. That's an important thing to take a look at. So demographics, those are your traditional kind of facts about your audience. Then you've got psychographics. That's number 2. Psychographics are the attitudes, the thoughts, the feelings, the aspirations, the pain points, the joy. Those are more of the thoughts and feelings, a little bit squishier, right? You can't put a pin on them exactly, but you can do the work to describe this. So are these people who have a passion for cooking? Let's say I'm cooking some soup right now for dinner. I can smell it in my kitchen. Are are your people passionate for cooking? Okay, well, that could be something you would want to explore. Well, why are they passionate about healthy living? Oh, well, they're passionate about healthy living because one of their attitudes is that they want to live a long life, and that's one of their aspirations. Health is important to them. Okay, that's more of a psychographic description of someone. Another psychographic description could be faith-based, right? That's something that many people market, their product or service is meant for somebody of a certain faith or belief structure. And that's okay too. And here I want to say that in marketing, part of what you need to do is get okay around the idea that you need to put your own belief structure and your own attitudes into what it is you are providing, is you're offering your business overall, because that's what's going to attract the people who want to do business with you. So clearly the demographics and the psychographics help you to be able to do that. Those are two very traditional approaches that any marketer, big or small, would definitely go through the process of defining. So really write down, who are they? And don't just write down something like new moms. Okay, well, there's a lot of new moms out there. Are these new moms who are really interested in breastfeeding but have had a super hard time figuring that out? It hasn't been easy for them. You're going to speak to that audience much more differently than somebody who is a new foster mom, right? Those are two totally different moms, depending on your offer, right? So you've got to really think about that. How are you going to define demographics and psychographics? Then the third point is keeping in mind your offer. How are you going to put this forward? In our example of the two very different moms, maybe the super organic, inclined, very natural living mom who's determined to breastfeed but is struggling with it, versus the foster care family who brings in at-risk infants and is caring for them. They're both moms, right? They're both caring for children. They both might need formula, or they both might need clothing, or they both might need your journal on how to maintain a positive mindset while you're nurturing an infant. But the way you're going to talk to them is perhaps going to be a little bit different. So you're going to go through this process and define demographics, psychographics. How does my offer relate back to them? And who am I the most passionate about helping? Your own value structure, especially as a small business, and I know that I have said this in so many other episodes as well, your personal values, the way that you choose to talk, the way you choose to show up, the way that you choose to brand yourself, all of that is a reflection of you that attracts or repels. Marketing is a process of not only attracting but also repelling the right people for you. And sometimes we get a little beat up about that as entrepreneurs because we want everybody to say yes to us. But as soon as we can step into the idea that we're actually not meant to serve everyone, we are not meant to serve everyone, because what we have isn't for everyone. The more you can project in your own experiences, your own story, your own value, this is truly what sets you apart from the massive fish that are in the same sea. Okay, so let's again take our moms, and let's say, for example, that we were offering some kind of super amazing baby head wraps. Okay, we handcraft these. They're awesome. We have an Etsy shop. We are on Facebook and we are on Instagram, and we've got, cute headbands that have big giant bows on them that are for babies. And this is what we want to put into the marketplace. Well, you know what? There's some of those are sold at Walmart too. So how are yours different? And what is the story behind why you want to make these? Did you have a baby yourself and that baby had was one of those babies that got hair really late, and so everybody kept calling your beautiful baby girl a baby boy, and you were like heartbroken about it, and so you figured out a way to make these huge amazing bows so that everybody knew that your baby was a girl, and this is what it meant to you as this new mom that was tired of people calling your girl a boy. Well, if that's the case, then bake that into the story. Bake that into what you're talking about. And other moms who want their girls to look really girly are going to love your product versus somebody that's just walking down an aisle at Walmart to buy something in order to buy it. So, who do you want to serve, right? Answer that question for yourself. And who do you naturally attract? Without effort, you already are attracting certain people to your business. Who is doing business with you today with ease? Who comes to you on the regular looking for your product or service? What about them can you scale? Because if they're already coming to you without you going out to them, they are clearly attracted to what you're doing, and find out why. Then map that back to the demographics and psychographics of the people that you think you want to market to, and make sure that you have unity around all of that. So it's a combination of your values, your story, a little bit of your offer, which again, we're going to dive into that a little bit more next week, the demographics and the psychographics all together. A couple of other things that you're going to want to look at, back to my Walmart reference here, is who else is in the market today. Because you want to recognize who your competition is. And competition is a good thing. There is room for everyone in the small business entrepreneurial space, because each of us as entrepreneurs are individuals, and we attack or approach same topics in very different ways. And that's what allows us to be unique. It's just a matter of getting your uniqueness into the marketplace so that people can see it and they can resonate with it, and then they can become your customer or your client or whomever it is you're looking for. So understand the competition and understand, how are you different from them? How are you different from them? If you're marketing to the same people as the guy next door, how is he doing something different from you? What do you want to put out there in your messaging that's different? And how is that attractive to this audience that you think that you have defined? This is the whole process that needs to happen up front each time you get ready to go to market with something. And it is a step that a lot of entrepreneurs skip over. I would suggest that there is a process that you can go through every single time that you get ready to take something to market. And I've actually named this. It's called the 60-minute marketing method. And I just finished it up, redefined it, and launched it last week on Friday. I'm going to drop the link to it here on this episode so you can see it in the notes, or you can see it in the comments, because if you struggle with this part of the process of really understanding the balance between my offer, my audience, my value statement, my brand, the marketing strategies, and this is where you get into overwhelm, or this is where you're not very systematic, if you're an experienced entrepreneur and you just kind of do these launches and they feel really frenetic and stressful, what if there was a process that you could go through step by step that would say, start here, then do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. And what if that process was one that you could use again and again and again? And what if every time you used it, you got better at it? So each time you got ready to launch something into the market, you would be better, faster, smarter, and more effective. That's what the 60-minute marketing method is. It's about a 15-page downloadable document. It's a template of sorts, a script, if you will, that you can use again and again and again and again in your marketing process. This is the exact process that I used to launch every single business that I have ever done, and every single mini launch inside the businesses that I have. I used to own an event-based business that was a women's fashion consignment pop-up sale. And I think I did 7 of these sales over the course of 3 years before I sold the business. Every single time that I did one of those sales, I would pull out this 60-minute marketing method and I would go through the questions, I would go through the process, I would go through the evaluation, and I would make sure that I knew exactly what I was doing before I got started. And it only takes an hour. So why wouldn't you? right? Why wouldn't you spend an hour ensuring your success? That's what you get out of this template. And it's going to make a ton of sense to you if you're the person that is, number one, thinking about launching their business and hasn't done it yet and needs a little bit of a guide to sort through the details. It's also going to make a ton of sense to you if you are a brand new entrepreneur and you're just getting ready to launch that first thing, but you're overwhelmed, maybe a little flustered by the process. And it will make even more sense if you're the person who's already launched things in the past and feels like it's been crazy and hectic and you've missed things along the way. This template, it is golden, you guys. It is absolutely incredible. I wish that every entrepreneur out there could grab it. It is affordable at $27. You can buy this thing for $27 and beat it up. You can use it again and again and again and again from now and like until infinity. In perpetuity, it is yours. It's a download. You grab it once and you use it over and over and over again. And beyond that, I actually offer you the opportunity, if you get stuck while you're in the 60-minute marketing method, I give you a link where you can grab a 15-minute free consultation with me and be like, Meredith, I'm stuck right here. Please help me. Why would I do that? Because I want you to get unstuck. Because my motivation is to make sure that entrepreneurs are successful, because I fully believe that we are the backbone of the new economy, the new e-commerce, the new global, the new digital, the new entrepreneurial economy, especially post-pandemic, because people want the flexibility, they want the freedom, they want the ability to have multiple streams of income. Even if they love their job, they want something on the side because there are no guarantees, but they don't have a process in place to successfully launch their marketing every single time they get ready to do it. And that's what the 60-minute method can do for you. So go ahead, grab the link from the comments, check it out, see if it's for you. I would love it if it is. And I definitely want to see you back here next week when we talk about our offer. So we are going to launch 4 episodes in this series. This week is on audience. Then we're talking offer. Then we're talking putting the pieces together. Then we're talking how to launch and measure successful marketing efforts. Soup to nuts, 4 weeks, 4 lessons, 4 episodes, however you want to think about it. I'm Meredith Banka with Home Based Business 101 and founder of the Psychic Gurus. I'm super excited that you spent your time listening tonight, being here with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Take care, everybody, and don't forget to grab your 60-minute marketing method. See you soon.